What up, though? And welcome to the Rasslecast Power Up. I am going to be currently running the point. I am Handsome Bane, compelling protagonist of Rasslecast acclaim. Uh, and with me, of course, the man who needs no introduction because he does his own. He does his own.
I thought you froze for a second.
Yo, my technology has been messing up. So yes, we are keeping that long awkward pause in there and introducing my man, Marc Rob.
That was the ultimate pump fake. I was like, oh, but what if it's your boy, the Marc Rob, aka Sean Mad Love, aka Gordon Darks, aka King Chitlin, aka Baquan the Chef, because you smell what the Mark is cooking, aka Twerk Angle, aka Embo Slice, aka Big Sexy Kevin Splash, aka Larry July. Don't check me, check the Bam Bam Bigelow shirt. What's going on?
Hey, welcome back, brother. And a couple other welcome backs. We got Gabby, aka Funky Punk, right back as if she left something.
Yes.
What up?
Probably did leave something, to be fair, to be honest with you.
No.
I might start going by my 2K22 character name, which is Yam Yam Piccolo.
There you go.
It is.
Yeah.
There it is.
No, I
Nice.
Yeah, because I'm sure Marc Rob has a Bam Bam Bigelow reference in there somewhere. Like I froze.
Oh no, we're losing him.
Yep, I froze. Anyway, Bam Bam Bigelow reference.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I do. Yes.
All right. There we go. And coming back, our guy, Chicken Nugget, fresh off of getting that degree.
Fresh up. Whoa, the master is in the house.
There it is.
Master's degrees in that. The grad's in the house.
There it
So,
is.
you guys doing okay?
Yeah, man. Proud of you over here, bro.
Thank you. I'm grateful for you guys having me back on the podcast, man. It's been a minute, but I love it.
Well, like I said, our door is always open. You know, if it's normally if it's Sunday, we probably recording. Man, y'all come over here whenever y'all want. So yeah, and it will probably, it's the holiday episode, so it's reunion, it's family. We probably have people popping in and out. I'll probably go grab a drink at some point. But
holidays.
Yeah, so
there it is.
I'm not wearing any pants, by the way.
Speaking of ho 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 and not wearing any pants. Sunny, aka Tammy Sitch. Last week Brett he shouted her out. He said, Sonny, hold your head while you're going up for 17 years. That's crazy, right? Like,
so
I don't know.
What is the actual crime?
Drunk driving and killing someone.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's bad, bro.
She's a wash.
And I mean, she was, just being in and out, like literally a white thug, like, what I'm saying, like a thug, basically just a menace to society. Because before that she had like all the domestic issues, but a DUI and killing a 75-year-old man, it's
kind of a rough hand you're trying to play out there.
Yeah. So I mean,
it is a do you care?
She's racist too.
Oh yeah, throw away the key.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. Holy shit.
Well, I was so glad you guys revealed it to him that way, because that's where I was going.
My nigga, I'm glad you said this.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
So
Jada, throw away the key. Yeah, get him out of there. Freeway, excuse me, not Jada.
Kobe.
So on a serious note, I do not believe in the penal. I think the prison industrial complex is incredibly terrible and detrimental. But Hey,
Same.
vaya con Dios.
So she would hate to hear you say that because she wouldn't understand the words. But
This is America.
Yeah. Yeah, speak
Speak
American.
American. Fucking idiot.
They got the nerve to say that when they pull up to like an authentic like Don Pedro restaurant. English,
Man.
please.
Going getting themselves some quesadillas.
Nurse, I'll take the
Yeah.
quesadillas. Poor favor.
Yeah. You guys
Oh
have
my
any
God.
that nacho cheese sauce?
The nacho cheese sauce.
Jalapenos.
They
Jalapenos.
got
The
some
Bro, shout out
jalapenos.
to
the
my Taco
jalapenos.
Bell days. We had this one girl who would come up and ask every day, bro, and it would drive me insane because it was like she was hanging her privilege over my head, dog. And she would come in
Ugh,
every day,
gross.
happy as could be, like, I'll have a chicken quesadilla, and like that much vim and vigor, like
Ew.
just she was so happy to get a chicken quesadilla,
Serious?
and I was so poor and black and like angry that I would just be like,
Relatable.
I mean,
Poor and black.
Relatable.
It's nuts.
but yeah, we never did no weird shit to her food, so shout out to her. But yeah,
Yeah, she's a wash.
shout out to Sunny, man. I mean, and I mean, yeah, absolutely insane. It's like I said, an abuser in every way. She still didn't like own up to anything. Jim Cornette got some Fox News points off of her, just yelling about her, just kind of fucking up. He also, like that was like his homie back in the day. He kind of helped put her on real big, and yeah, so he's really pissed about that.
Yeah.
Scooting on another. Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say there was someone that I saw on Facebook the other day, in like one of these wrestling groups that I'm in, and they posted a picture of Sunny, and they were like, "Oh, she was the hottest diva," and first of all, after getting over like the initial amount of cap that has to be, you know what I'm saying?
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Like besides that, I was just like, so I guess you didn't know that she's like about to be a convicted felon and like she's racist as hell, so she don't want you.
No.
First of all, you know what I'm saying, and then like it was a lot.
Oh, there was a nigga, huh?
Did they say that she was the hottest diva or one of the hottest divas?
The hottest. I was like, yo,
I mean
stop
that.
the
I mean,
cap.
okay, that's cap. But it's also she was like the first one. If he said that,
Yeah.
she was the first one. Like she was at one point in time, like when AOL was the shit, and people had to go through AOL and go, she was the number one downloaded celebrity.
Triggered.
At that point in time, which is crazy.
That's
numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
The numbers don't lie.
Yeah, they really don't.
She helped to push the internet. Look, her little frame that had some kind of tit hanging off of it was like the thing that like I always joke about like Attitude Era being like a lot of guys' intro to porn. That WWF, that Sunny being downloaded, that was like a direct pipeline for smut for a lot of guys in that era. So like, yeah, she was big shit.
Wrestling to smut pipeline is wild.
Wrestling to smut. Unrelated note. Happy birthday, Trish Stratus. By the way, just so happy to be your birthday as of this recording.
Dog, Trish Stratus, dog, is the exact opposite of Sunny.
Yeah. And now Sunny looks like her soul. So
yeah, she's
yikes.
Father Time took a bat to old girl.
Yeah.
It's all that hatred, dog. You can't just be carrying around that hatred. Now, like that shit really does do a number on you.
It will make you ugly. If you got an ugly spirit, that will definitely show.
That shit
right man.
Out. Yeah, she looked like she's
aging like a banana.
Since the consensus is she is not the hottest one, we need to take who's the hottest diva.
Like diva era, or like okay, yeah. We're talking like basically wrestling lingerie model. All kind of.
Mud fights.
Yeah.
The bra and panty match. The pinnacle of misogyny.
Them niggas had a bra and panties match in gravy one time, bro. That shit was utterly.
So
I was like, who is this? I was like, who is this for?
Oh
Who
man,
likes women?
I still
good old
remember
Vince McMahon, dog.
I still remember when Sable powerbombed Jackie and the tit just flew out.
Yeah,
That was a
wild.
seminal part of my childhood.
It didn't
shit
tear
would
off. It
never
literally
happen, dog.
just.
Jackie. First of all,
Yeah,
Jackie
wow.
beat the dog shit out of Sable. And hopefully it would still pop out. Great, but yeah, Jackie definitely was making a man out of me at that point. I don't know. I think that's where that's kind of where that started, bro. Like it was like a jacked woman, huh? All right, I'm here. Then what? But Diva era divas, I think like toward the end they stopped looking all the same. So Caitlyn?
It's a good choice.
Caitlyn, yeah. AJ Lee's friend. AJ Lee too, I guess.
January is going to be an exciting time for me, man.
Is Lita considered diva, right? Even though she did wrestle.
Yeah, I guess they were trying to say how like she changed the look of it. So yeah, I guess you could consider Amy Dumas.
I think that's my vote. I think that's my vote.
Yeah. Out there having kids with Kane.
She had a kid with Kane?
I mean, storyline, I guess.
Storyline wise.
That was a wild
Nah.
Amy Dumas and Glenn Jacobs celebrates their first child.
Wow.
His name is Azrael.
Oh no.
And he votes right. His voting leans very, very right.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
He's not him, man. He's not him.
All right. Speaking of not diva, but I don't know. I want to say something clever, but Liv Morgan driving around in Florida with a little over a half ounce of weed, and the authorities couldn't take it. They had to arrest her. Do you guys care?
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, I care when people get arrested when we don't need people to get arrested for silly shit like that. So
look at weed in Florida, bro.
Yeah, of all places.
Yeah,
no,
it's like it's still like crack down there.
Yeah, so police wasting tax dollars and time. So yeah. Yeah.
If you don't have the medical card, there it is. Just like you said, that's a very considered a legal substance. It's basically cocaine. But yeah, it's 2023. I hate just following off from what you said that that this is still something that people are getting charged for, that people have been charged for, and that are still in jail for stuff like this. It's unfortunate, it's ridiculous, but once it's Florida, and until we get like the solid change to have it, it's not even at that level of a no-no, then I mean you have to adhere by the rules. And once again it's stupid, but it's there. And what Florida, it's Florida, dude. Man. I mean, like
Florida's such a
y'all ain't gonna be having no Harlem Renaissance down here.
No prohibition. Freaking
no speakeasies allowed here, brother.
It's either booze, destroy your brain with booze, or nothing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Around these parts.
Around these parts, we destroy ourselves with good old fashioned monkey oil.
This is America. I'll tell you right now.
We don't take stuff from out the ground.
Fuck my liver. Fuck all y'all's livers. Drink and drink only.
About to make me a PBR Miller cocktail right now.
And then I use an alligator tail as a spoon.
Alligator tail, sipping out the alligator tail off that PBR Miller Samuel Adams Bud cocktail, bro.
That's a nice tank.
Speaking of alligator tail PBR Bud Light cocktail, Ric Flair. Ric Flair is
that's a beautiful transition.
That's A1. That was A1.
Girl. The ghost of pro wrestling continues to haunt us. Big Boo. So wait, what did he do? Okay, so he did the gross thing of the girls from 18 what do you say, 18 to
28.
28?
18 to 28, yeah.
Oh my God, Rick.
That was the stopping point. Yeah. He was like, all the girls from 18 to 28 come to my bar and come to the bar and
how dare you, nigga?
Mountain, baby. Whoa!
Nigga, you are infinite. What are you talking about, 28?
You're infinite.
Jeez.
You can never be first, but you can always be next.
Yeah.
Woo!
Woo! God,
Because I'm 1,000 years old and I won't stop hanging on to this mortal coil.
Diamonds are forever, and so is the nature geriatric man.
Woo! 28. That nigga got some nerve.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Nigga said 28.
The funny thing is, they're going to show up too. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
They're going to show up.
And that sickens me.
I don't know.
Because,
No.
yo, like even in his youth, though, like, I don't
That nigga always been old.
He always.
Yeah, I just never
Even in
saw
his
it. Like,
why do you look 50 and you're 24?
That nigga was in the
That's like-
70s wearing 70s shit and still looking 70. Like, bro,
Yeah.
this nigga old as fuck.
like what? He came out the womb 35, but that's nuts, yo. I feel bad for his mom's womb.
That SNL sketch where Will Ferrell comes out with a mustache and he wants a Denver omelet.
It's Denver omelet.
I think I rubbed his mustache like, "Oh, you hungry, baby?" He's like, I'll take a Denver omelet. That's Ric Flair, the Denver omelet of pro wrestling.
The
Wow.
omelet of pro wrestling.
So Gab, just for the record, Ric Flair's never had a prime. Just so we're clear, right?
At least for me, I've never seen a Prime for him,
I mean-
unless he got like a special on Amazon Prime. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say this, like I've never like looked back at Ric Flair pictures and like, oh man, this guy's a stud. Like, I don't
Right.
necessarily need a woman to tell me whether or not somebody was supposed to be handsome, but I always ask him, like, was Ric Flair like, is he actually handsome to you, or like even the
That's what I
old
don't
footage
get.
from like NWA? I'm like, was he ever, was he?
Like,
you guys
to me,
consider
he's
him
always
handsome?
been goofy looking, but just happened to be muscular.
Yeah,
I think-
and like 40s
What a face ass
muscular.
nigga.
I think the thing with him, like the big thing with Rick at that time, was that he was one of the first, well, one of the earlier, I'm not gonna say the first, but one of the earlier wrestlers that also the way how he presented himself, looks aside, the way how he presented himself, he talked his talk and he also walked his walk, and he did it within such a way that that he was pulling girls. Like, you can be a 5 and you can still
Right.
talk like a 10. And the 8s to 10s are going to come for you. So it's a matter of not only what you say, but how you say it. And then
And
actually
if
backing
they
it
say
up.
no, brother,
Hey,
doesn't
hey,
matter.
You're getting that far. Sorry about that. I'm looking at it as core.
God.
No, he was swaggy as fuck.
30 for
but,
30,
like,
not beyond the
Yeah,
ring.
I could-
30 for
Right,
30,
right,
not
right.
beyond the ring.
I could give
Dark
him-
side of the dark side.
Dark side of the
More
ring.
like 70 for 30. Woo!
Hey. Hey.
Yo, I don't know how many times that man been on the dark side of the ring.
Directly,
No, for real,
indirectly.
though.
Yeah, I was
They could have
there.
a whole season of just him.
I mean, he'll do it. Ric Flair will sell your chicken wings, right? Like,
Yeah.
Wings.
Wings! That
He
had me
popped-
crying.
You notice how
that
quick he popped
nigga
the top
said
off and put it back on? He said,
wings. That's like The Simpsons is like they're not saying boo, they're saying boo earns.
Yeah, that's classic. I was saying boo earns.
Oh, you saying boo or boo earns? Boo! Say boo.
I was saying boo earns.
It got Hans Molman.
Yeah, Hans Molman stays struggling, man.
Hell no.
I remember one episode that he was like 31 years old.
Right. Yeah, that's Ric Flair, right?
No fucking way. Yeah.
And the
Yo,
girl
he's
was...
that Hans no man. That's nuts. I'm gonna be thinking about that now. I hate it here.
Triggered to oblivion.
Right.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh man. Speaking of triggered, Wrestling with Shadows. Oh man, these seamless transitions. Like chain wrestling out here. Like feel like the Bret Hart of transitions right now, dog. So
the best there is, best there was, best ever will be.
Hey man, shout out to the Hitman. Shout out to the Marc Rob for sending me the Wrestling with Shadows Blu-ray. This is the 25th anniversary edition. Ooh. And it dropped somewhere around this time, what, 25, 26 years ago?
Yeah, today. So we're recording this on December 18th, and I believe today is the exact of Wrestling with Shadows. So
wow,
nice.
Yeah, and
how bad?
Oh, sorry, it's the 20th. My bad. It's December the 20th is the 25th anniversary. So actually, when the people hear this, they will probably be hearing it on the actual anniversary.
Probably.
So yeah. So I came across this again, like just like randomly, and wanted to check it out, particularly because we were coming up to the 25th anniversary. And I watched it last year, and I was hella impressed by it, just by the honesty and kind of how we went through the journey of this iconic wrestler who is now coming to grips with the morality or the immorality of the Attitude Era. And I think it's a fascinating watch. I think people should still watch it. And I wanted to ask the group, because I know Eric, this is your guy.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the most important wrestling documentary that we've ever been given?
For its timing,
I think for the honesty of what Bret was talking about, but also I feel like this was the first documentary to truly show you like the behind the ring. Like we're talking shoots, we're talking like how matches are set up, we're talking like how matches are going to end, and then actually playing out like just as they all like planned it out effectively.
Sure.
And it's so eye-opening.
Yeah. For its time, I think like it really tipped pro wrestling's hand. Like, here, this is really how we do it. And at that point in time, like this was the business was like so closed off and so like, we weren't even hearing wrestling terminology just yet. This was like kind of rolling off the same time of the dirt sheets coming out with Meltzer kind of coming into prominence. In Detroit, we had what they call the 438 numbers, where you would, all these guys were, instead of like wrestling podcasts now, they have wrestling hotlines that people would call. And like, they just give you the news on what happened, but it's just a bunch of guys who read what Meltzer wrote. And like at that point in time, it was like still so niche that like only few people knew about it. Like I found out about tapings in like 95 and finding out like every other week Raw was taped. And so I would listen to the 438 numbers and go to school and like do a Negro Damas and be like, Quang will spit the shit in the Undertaker's face and it won't work. And then like people was coming back like, nigga, how did you know? And it was like, oh no, dog. The pro wrestling is in me, dog. Like I would tell niggas the results of Raw. And so
that
like
dog in you.
You're right. Niggas was like, dog, this nigga a genius. Like, and so, like moving that and kind of being like a smarter Mark at that point in time. Like when I first saw it forever ago, I was like, man, damn, they really are saying like a work, a shoot. They're like really super explaining it in the camera now. which
Yeah.
was like crazy at that time. And then like, watching it now, um, it like they're just for one, the cinematography is beautiful. Like it's like glossier than most documentaries I've ever seen.
This nigga glitched
But
out.
why?
Frozen in
But
time.
why?
I know.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just
Mhm.
saying that it looked like, glossier than, like it's like a pretty looking, like the way it's shot looks
Yeah.
really nice. The angles, how they like frame Brett, and he's contemplative and like, the lighting on his face and they like really did like like that part was like super artistic. And I wonder just like how much of that um did he have to like kind of direct and produce on, or if it was just like they just kind of were able to just find his angles.
So yeah, I think the production of it is holds up all these years later. And to the best of my knowledge, like with this documentary and like Beyond the Mat, and we're like
Mhm.
on the cusp of the internet. So like all this is going to leak out eventually. But I just think like the behind the scenes like true look and interviews and like talking to these insiders, and then Brett specifically, of how we follow his journey for like an entire year effectively. And I think I think it's still pretty a remarkable document all these years later. And I think for Brett, and I wanted to pick your mind on this also,
Mhm.
I think the most fascinating part about this is a little bit of, I don't want to say hypocrisy, because I think we're all hypocritical about certain things, but I do think that for Brett, who is a traditionalist, like this, he's coming up to where his whole thing, the match should be the thing. Like what's in the
Mhm.
ring should be the thing. But he's at the attitude era where it's not. We're in the bra panties era. We're in the Stone Cold era, and
Mhm.
how they basically circumvented morality with a lot of people who are in a gray, and kind of had this period of where there were no heels and no faces. It was like everyone just could be almost lawless.
Mhm.
And so he's reckoning with that. And I do see his point of view for that. But also, if he's a traditionalist, he should know he can't leave a federation and then like not drop the belt. And like
Right.
he's and he knows that if you're a traditionalist, like you have to give heat to other wrestlers from time to time. And I
Mhm.
think it's fascinating when Stone Brett mind melted from that. And so I kind of wonder what your perspective was as far as how do you reckon with someone that's a traditionalist, but they're now in the current times?
Um, I think just because like part of what he did in the ring was like and the reason that he was able to work so well with people was his ability to adapt. And so while I'm not really while I think it's kind of capped that he was like worried about the morality of everything, there was a certain level of morality he was used to, a certain
Yeah.
kind of playing field that he was used to, as far as like, if I do this, the people should cheer. If I do this, then, but if I want to turn it this way, because I mean, he's the guy who double turned with Stone Cold. He was the heel in the match with Davey Boy, and so it's not like he doesn't know how to heel. It's not
Yeah.
like he can't do that. Um, but as far as like being upset about what does and what doesn't get cheers and boos. Um, I think that was kind of by that time he says at the beginning of the documentary, he's 40 years old. And so anybody
Yeah.
working inside the business for as long as he had been working, things were what they were. And that huge changing of the guard. I think reading in his book also he voiced that like when Stone Cold won the title and it just ushered in that era, and he was talking about like, he's like, and Raw was red hot, like, and he's at that point in time in the other company, and he's like watching this meteoric rise of a Stone Cold, which, as long as he was like, he felt real good about being part of his launch, and that sort of thing. But I don't, I don't believe that he was like really clutching his pearls like that. Like things were, just kind of turning like that anyway. It's the 90s.
Hold on. Are you saying that this was a part work? Are you saying this, Eric?
So let's go ahead and get to it because
and by the way, for all the listeners and for everyone on the call, Eric thinks everything's a work. So I'm shocked but not shocked. But keep going, my brother.
And so I recall maybe last year before, saying that if the Montreal screw job was a work, that it would shatter my belief in like anything, right? Like it was like the sacred thing that had to be real in the business, for me to be like, there is a God. But there, and I don't know, I don't want to have to invite y'all to make a point if y'all want to, but I know we kind of bouncing back and forth. But please jump in if y'all want, talking this ancient history. But as far as I just went in, I got a part-time job, and in the interview, I started talking to the guy about wrestling. He's a Shawn Michaels fan. And of course, so it was like, so we sitting there having that argument about Shawn versus Brett, and then he's like, I was like, all right, go ahead, give me your hottest take. He's like, well, the Montreal screw job was a work. And I was like,
25 years later, people are still saying it's a work.
So
the wonders of wrestling, man.
And and there are people that say it's not. And so like, I think it's a work shoot. Which is, normally normally that is what it is. You know what I mean? Normally that is what it is. I think that they had to come up with a solution. I think that Brett wanted to go, I think they were like trying to find a way for Brett to go to WCW with enough heat to kind of launch his shit. They knew that they weren't going to be able to pay him what they were going to pay him in that contract. So it was just like, all right, well, I think they orchestrated it, but I don't think they thought it would do this, right? Like it was just kind of like, I feel like they were trying to set a bonfire, and then they made a mistake and set a barn fire, and then it just like kind of ended up working out for them anyway, because Brett would go to WCW and receive none of the benefit of that heat. Eric Bischoff had zero idea what he was doing with Brett in WCW. And so yeah, he kind of, and then he would go on to get kicked by Goldberg and ended everything effectively. But I feel like, yeah, maybe that whole right there was the thing, and only few others knew the secret.
Well, hold on. Let's get everyone else in play. So, well, do y'all even care this is a worker shoot 25 years later?
I mean,
well, exactly. So Gabby, what are your thoughts on the Montreal Screwdriver 25 years later?
Yeah, I feel like at this point it doesn't really matter because it already happened, and everyone hopefully should have moved on with their lives from now. I do think that it would be good to like solidify, or if like someone like admitted that it is in fact a shoot, you know what I mean? But and that might help with like closure or something like that. But
I never want to know. I never want to know specifically.
Fair.
I'm okay with it being that, unless Brett wanted to say it like on his deathbed or something, like he wanted to get that off. Well, not even his deathbed. When he gets carried off to heaven in a flaming chariot, just like Elijah the prophet, If he wants to turn around and let me know specifically, you know,
imagine
the secret has to stay here on Earth with you. It was a work. It was a work.
And then you'd be like, "Oh, son of a bitch."
Nah, I would just hold that. You know what I'm saying? I would just have to hold that, and then I just see my man off in a chariot.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is pretty.
It's gonna be a sad day in 3005.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll live forever.
True. Very true.
Yeah, so I guess I would say that I guess for myself I don't really care, but I do understand why people still care, in the sense that they probably just want to be proven right, I guess. And also that, if in the fact it is a shoot, it's just like another reason to hate Vince McMahon, you know what I mean? And I personally can get with that, so
hilarious.
Yeah.
Now, somebody, well, and they I think it was Nash. Kevin Nash also pointed to the fact that Vince McMahon no sold 2 blown quads in the middle of a ring once.
That was wild.
But sold getting punched in the face by Brett. Is holding his eye and limping. I think Brett really socked him, but I think he definitely was like letting everybody know that Brett socked him for whatever reason. It was like better for the story. Because we've seen Vince no sell the blown quads, but we've also seen him like sell the neck brace, getting ready to go into his meeting with the. He was about to lock that ass up. And they came to that bitch with a neck brace, quick as hell.
Vince, man.
That nigga had a triple XL neck brace.
That's all I can say. Vince.
Vince, man.
There it is.
Yeah.
Man.
Should push the Karl Malone button.
Yes, Carl.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, now it's time for the hard pivot. I have in front of me a lot of data, and I want to thank everybody, including our guest here, for their ballots. We are talking top 10 pro wrestlers of 2023. That's it. We got top 10. Kind of, I mean, I won't say I don't know. Number one, I guess it'll make sense once we get to it. But yeah, there were a lot of votes. And so everybody made their list of 10. Their number 10 wrestler got 1 point. Number 2 would get 9, and so on and so forth. So yeah, if you the number 1 would pull 10 points, and so it kind of went that way to make a definitive list. So every vote is basically part of a rank, which I don't know, I think kind of makes it a little more definitive. All right. So how do we begin? So I want to give a couple shout outs to people who only received 1 vote, and we won't be no CM Punk in this one, surprisingly.
What did he do?
Yes.
What did he do?
Oh yeah, no, exactly. No, that's why I said surprisingly.
Thank you.
Yeah, like business wise, obviously.
Fuck.
Business wise, he's gonna bring in the money, but at the same time,
yeah.
Samoa Joe and him, that was a pretty solid match. But out of there's so many more than out that wouldn't necessarily qualify him in my top 10.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think CM Punk marks are like gluttons for punishment because I mean, I don't know. I still got my arms crossed. I'm not going for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't want to invest anything in CM Punk. So shout out to him not getting any votes. Charlotte Flair got 1. Edge 1. Logan Paul got 2 votes. And
what?
before one of us voted, before somebody voted in here, he had more votes than Willow Nightingale, and I hate that. So do better, guys.
Nightingale
Oh,
put on
that's
this year.
disgusting.
Yeah, gross. Bronson Reed got a vote. Shout out to Bronson Reed. Shabata got a vote. Julia Hart. That'll change by next year, I'm sure. And shout out to
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston. Um, so I'm gonna. Oh, yes, number 10. At number 10, we got a tie. Um, this person was almost shut out. Like the doors closed right in front of her until one of us made a vote that got her into the top 10. Talking, of course, about Athena. Athena at number 10.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Um, I said before, I think she gets like, I think she's like doing double duty as a bare knuckle boxer underground, like, cause she's like tough and shit. Like, she only battles for like
She's
belts
crazy
made out of
tough.
tin. You know, like,
Yeah, she putting in work.
yeah, she is working
Yeah.
stiff too, but you know, making the stuff believable, making it
Yeah.
look snug, making it look good. So shout out to Athena and welcoming her at also at number 10, Will Ospreay. Any Ospreay fans in the house? They can't see you nodding.
Yeah, he's solid. He's solid.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that can do a bunch of stuff, and it looks really cool. But yeah, I think he's a good wrestler. He's not. I haven't seen like all of the Will Ospreay matches. Definitely some highlights with Ricochet before he was Ricochet.
Prince Puma.
Yeah. Hey, Prince Puma was sweet as hell.
Yeah, that's
Prince Puma was sweet as hell. We was talking about scary gimmicks. I forgot all about Mortis. I'm not Mortis. The Muerte.
Oh wow.
He was like Shao Kahn there. Muerte. He was like Shao. He was whooping everybody ass. He's like in Bison. So shout out to Muerte. Not on the list this year, but man, we'd love to have him. We'd love to have Muerte on the show. Come on in. You can speak all Spanish. That'd be fine. So Will Ospreay and Athena at number 10. Number 9, Samoa Joe.
Samoa.
Sweet tooth.
Samoa. Joe.
I wanted him to beat Punk, man. Or MJF, but I prefer Punk.
Yeah, same.
Just because
relinquish his title. He said, I don't want this title anymore. I want another title.
That was
wild. This one.
That pissed me off because I was just like Keith Lee might as well have won it then, if you're just gonna relinquish it.
Yeah, we can't be doing nothing nice for Keith Lee, the professional wrestler Keith Lee, not the reviewer.
Yeah.
But shout out to Joe, man. He had the MJF match, the Punk match, and of course just always like being Samoa Joe in ring. Still the note. Always got something to say. I've never seen him just like get shut out in a promo.
Man knows his way around a mic, knows his way around a ring. Hey man.
Yeah, guy's super. He's like super legit. Like I really, if he was like, yo, this chubby Samoan guy is mad as hell. He said he's gonna beat somebody. He's like, oh, not a nigga like he can scrap. So like, yeah, shout out to Joe for having the super dad bod and being mad legit. He said, nah, work out my problem by beating your ass. Number 8, Roman Reigns. The head of the table, Roman Reigns at number 8.
Wow.
Tribal chief.
Damn.
Tribal chief.
Niggas not respecting the streak.
Me.
Hey.
Niggas not respecting the streak.
Let's talk about it.
I mean, he didn't only have like what 7 matches this year or something?
Yeah.
Like less than that.
Like, come on, dog. I'm not giving that. I didn't vote for him at all. Actually, he
There
did
it
not get a vote from me. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it
same.
was he had some cool shit. Like he was a part, but it was even I don't know. Like I think he, his promos are amazing. And when
progressed well, way beyond the
oh
succotash
my god,
back in the
bro, I don't even
day.
that nigga
That
said suffer. They made that man say
that shit was
suffer
hilarious.
succotash. It's like, bro, this is the worst thing you could have said. That
Like, what
you
was
might
he
as well have did it
thinking,
with the
man?
lisp, man. Um,
Suffering succotash.
that nigga, that was cartoon cussing. They made that nigga cuss like a
Yeah,
cartoon. Yeah,
you
but
hate to see it.
that's terrible. But yeah, I mean, he's come a long way, baby. But I like my champions defending sometimes. Like, damn,
Yeah,
bro.
that part.
But I mean, good for him. He's got the dates. He's only working a little bit at a time. Um, Also better for his health. So
Yeah,
but
Definitely.
again,
I support them.
it's like if he's carrying around two belts, and then you got another guy with a belt that's equal to those two belts, it's like, all right, well, now this is stupid. Just make the champion defend the
Hilarious.
belt more. He's like, well, nobody can beat him, so we're just gonna make
Touche.
another one. It's like, yeah, nobody can get a match with him. It's like 50
They're like, "Oh,
guys standing
you
around
want
all
me
the
to
time.
defend the belt? Enough, Solo."
Right. Solo a slave.
Get the thumb,
No
bro.
yeet.
Solo beat his ass.
No yeet.
This is just right. This is just Solo. Just somebody gives Solo a switch, and he's just like way too involved with it to deal with Roman Reigns and shit.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Put me in there.
I'd like to see that angle.
Here you go.
Like
Here you
Tears of the
go.
Kingdom or some shit.
Yam Yam Piccolo coming up next at number 7. Orange Cassidy.
Squee.
Take her away.
Squee.
As the leader of the Orange Cassidy, the Orange Crush wave, the floor is yours.
Well, obviously would be biased for him at least making top 5, but I'm glad he made it in general. But for me, his run with his initial run with the international championship was like the first time I like genuinely cared about a title run in a very long time. Possibly since like Bianca Belair's run. I probably haven't really cared that much.
So you like
And then
title
before,
defenses too.
yeah. I very much like to see actual title defenses.
Imagine
and,
that.
yeah,
Wow.
I know, right?
I think I had
And
the nerve to do a tag match too. Like, bitch, get out there and wrestle, nigga.
yeah, that is insane. Yeah, like when it seen him wrestle, like I I feel like he's like the epitome of the underdog because there's still like these marks out there and it'll just be like, oh, you stop putting your hands in your pockets, you can't wrestle. It was like, stop doing a silly shit. But and this is something I said in the last time I was here, like pro wrestling is partially about like the pomp and circumstance and the acting and silliness of it, because if not, then it's just essentially amateur wrestling or maybe like a circus show or something like that, but yeah, like when he did his run for me, like I genuinely like was rooting for him and like felt uh I felt like actual like emotions when during his run. And like I think he told an amazing story with how he was just going to continue to fight and defend the belt even if if it was to his own like bodily detriment. And yeah, I don't know, like I just felt like there's something special about him, like in terms of like the X factor that um makes him stand out besides just like the gimmick. There's something else about him, like in his aura. But yeah, I could like go on and on about him, but yeah.
Yeah, his aura is like an orange glow. No,
Yeah.
definitely just something different for, like in a business that's done it all, like in a
Right.
different twist on the guy who doesn't care. So it's like a gimmick to a gimmick. And yeah, like yeah, Orange Cassidy definitely carved out his own lane, whether or not you like it. I mean, Jim Cornette, sit
Right.
on your hat, brother. Like nobody cares what you think.
Yeah, no, like nobody really cares what he has to say anymore. Like he's on his way out, you know what I mean? So just because you've been in the business for so long doesn't
A
always
lot of pro
mean that
wrestling
you
ghosts,
know
man.
what's best for business. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like
Now,
yeah,
yeah.
and you'd think, yeah, you'd think they would, be in favor of something that's, you know, keeping pro wrestling relevant, whether it's something you like or not. Is he still keeping it relevant? Like a lot of his, like I think the majority of the AEW videos on YouTube, like most watch ones, include him in it. So it's like you're doing something right, right?
Hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah, no, everything's got to be
I
Rock
dig.
and Roll Express versus the Midnight Express. It's got to be,
Yeah,
somebody's got to
The
go into a
express match.
cage express
yeah,
match, right? They got to get
yeah,
hit in the head with a battery. You got to make people that
yeah.
mad for Cornette to love it.